Hello everybody! It is finally time to do the May plan with me, which is one of my favorite months to plan because it is the month that I first did when I originally started bullet journaling 2 years ago. I started with May and I started with a moth theme, and just like I did in my last year's May plan with me video, I am continuing with the tradition and doing moths for every year, just in a different style. The first time I did it, I don't have a video about it because I didn't used to make videos yet, but it was basically mostly using stickers, and I did draw a little bit, but wasn't very good at all. And then last year, you can check it out because that is in my channel, and I did use a lot of colored pencils, which has always been my medium of choice, but you guys know as of the past few months, I've been really into drawing with fountain pens, so that's what I am doing for this year's May. So just like I did for basically the whole of October, I am using Diamond Damson in my Platinum Preppy fountain pen with an extra fine nib to do the drawing in a very similar style as I did in October. So I am not using water on this one like I have plenty of times. I am just using the one ink, which by the way I did review it last week. If you missed that, I have a whole review on Diamond Damson. It is one of my absolute favorite inks. It is just so well behaved, beautiful shade of grayish purple, and I just can't get enough of it. It's basically permanently my Platinum Preppy. I always have it inked with Diamond Damson. So I'm starting out with a Luna moth, which is one of my favorite moths. This is also the same one I have done for the cover page in the past couple of years. So this is a tradition video. We're keeping with tradition. And of course, that leads me to ask, is there a theme that you feel compelled to repeat? I would love to hear from you in the comments. It seems like a little early in the video to be talking about comments, but you know what? I thought of it now, so I'm saying it now. I would like to know if there is a theme that you like to consistently repeat a certain time of the year or a certain time of the month, maybe for a daily or a weekly spread. It would be interesting to know what is important for you guys. So for this style of drawing, which is more like a sketchy style, it's more like a quick sketch rather than a refined drawing, I essentially just first do lines, nothing perfect. Again, the idea of this is for it to look like a sketch, which in my opinion makes it way more fun to draw as well because it's just more relaxed. And then as for the shading, I basically loosen my hand and let the pen move in random curvy lines. What I do like to control is how much pressure and how many lines I put. So the more pressure and the more squiggles and lines that you do, of course, the darker it's gonna come out. So that would be for the dark parts, just like you can see on the top part of the moth's wings. But then you can also see in the actual wings, there are sections where I decided to just lightly shade so that it looks different from the parts that I didn't shade at all, but still provides contrast with the darker areas. For the calligraphy, I am using the Violet Tete Plume ink that I love. You've seen me use this many times, along with my manuscript Leonard 1.5 calligraphy nib. And then for the rest of the fountain pens and inks that I'm using in this video, you see me use the Lamy Studio in terracotta, inked with Diamine Cherry Sunburst, I think it's called. Yes, it is from the new line that Diamine came out with. And so far, this is my favorite. I got samples of all 5 of them because they all looked really appealing, but this is the one that I actually am almost out of that sample vial, and I just got it a couple weeks ago. It is a gorgeous color. I'm going to have to buy a bottle. And then the other fountain pen I am using is the Faber-Castell Lume with a fine nib, inked also with Diamond Damson from the review that I filmed last week. Then as for the left side of the page, the way that I am going to use this very large stamp, I actually got this idea from a fellow YouTube and Instagram creator. His channel name is Letras Literarias, so literary letters would be the translation. He does film his videos in Spanish, but even if you don't speak Spanish, honestly, they are so gorgeous. His spreads are amazing. I think it is still completely worth it for someone to watch it, regardless of the language. So I remember seeing a video of his where he took this globe, like kind of like a world map stamp that was fairly large, and he only put stamping ink on part of it so that it wouldn't cover the whole page, and it's just like a small touch of of the stamp, and it works. It's such a good tip. I can't believe I didn't think of this before. So I am very grateful to him for inspiring me in that sense, and I will definitely be using this more often because it's just such a good way. These large stamps, it's just so hard to find ways to use them because you don't necessarily want to cover the whole page, and especially with me that I use a pocket-sized notebook, they essentially cover the whole page. So they were just gathering dust until now, because now I know how to use them in a productive way. And then we move on to the calendar spread, which I am doing exactly the same as I do every month. I'm sorry if this spread gets a little boring to you guys, but it is my most useful spread. As I have mentioned before, I use it constantly throughout the month, almost every day, to reference what plans I have throughout the month, since I plan on a day-to-day basis. So I just need the spread to be functional, give me space in order to put down everything I need to put down, and for it to just be a really good reference throughout the month. I am adding some mushroom stickers. I figured this was a good thing to complement the moth theme, and also to add a bit of color to this month, because I do like the white and purple monochromatic look, but I'm a color person. I had to. I was going to do this entirely in this purple ink originally, but I decided to throw in some orange. I really like that color combination. It doesn't remind me of spring, but you know what? On the day that I'm filming this, it is snowing in Chicago. April 27th, it's been snowing. So it doesn't need to remind me of spring, because apparently it's not spring yet. On the plus side, I am flying to Spain tomorrow. Actually, by the time you watch this, I will probably be on my way to the airport, which is really exciting because I'm finally going to have some sun and warmth. There will be a video, quick parenthesis here, there will be a video next week that I have already filmed and will be editing in the plane. But as for the week after that, I can't promise anything. Maybe I will film something while I'm there, but I'm not sure. I don't think there will be a video 2 weeks from now, but definitely next week, so stay tuned for that. And then finally, for the first weekly spread, I decided to pick a quote from, first of all, a song that I have been obsessing over the past couple weeks or so. It is called Te Guardo by Silvana Estrada. The way she plays with her voice in this song and the overall theme of it and the way it's written is just the most beautiful thing. I find myself, you know, those songs that you just smile every time you're listening to it, even though there's no one there and you're not showing the song to anyone, you're just sitting on your own in your couch, drinking your morning coffee, and you play the song and it's done and you realize you were smiling the whole time. That's this song. Look it up. It is wonderful. And then I also wanted to use this quote for this particular plan with me because it does mention wings, which I thought would go along well with the moth theme. So essentially translated, it says, I have a laughter with wings that flies if we are alone together, which is a very nice romantic line. And then for the rest of the spread, I am using some of the paper that I got back in October for the Halloween spreads. But while we are in the Halloweenish color palette, I might as well go back to it. It has some moon and stars. The moon especially reminds me of the moth, of course, and especially since I picked the Luna moth. And then on top of it, I'm putting another mushroom sticker from the same packet that I have. I think I got these from Wawa Stationery, if I'm not mistaken, in Etsy. I've gotten a bunch of stuff from that shop. I'm pretty sure this is one of the things I got. And if it wasn't, there's a lot of other really cool stuff in that shop, so you should definitely check it out. But before I considered this spread done, I decided last minute to add this stamp, which I've been using a lot lately. This one is from Our Atelier, also a wonderful stationery shop, and it just goes well with everything. It's just very simple, floral, botanical looking thing. I find that it matches pretty much every theme that I've been doing as of the past few months. But that's pretty much everything I have for you today. Subscribe if you like journaling videos. We do a lot of that here, and I'll see you next week with another video. Have a fantastic day. Bye.